Well, aren't we in for a treat today? Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Colour Cave, where we like to play with art stuff. My name is Jem and I am super congested, and today we are going to have a double subscription box that's easy for me to say, a double subscription box unboxing. The reason that we're doing this today is I'm about to go off on my travels. Thankfully I feel well enough to fly. I do not have COVID and I'm just recovering from a really bad run of I don't know what, something clearly bacterial. So we're going to unbox and take a look at the Scrawlrbox and the Upcrate today. Once I return from my gallivanting, we will do some artwork with these boxes. Maybe together, maybe in a live stream, maybe as separate videos. Who knows, we'll figure that out when we get there. But for the time being, let's just get cracked in. When you're watching this, hopefully I'll be in another country, which will be nice for me. Let's start with Scrawlrbox, just because it's Scrawlrbox. This is the UK art subscription box. It feels quite full. This and Upcrate are very similar in a lot of ways. Scrawlrbox has been on the go longer. And as I said, they're a UK based company. You also get sweeties in this box, which you don't get in the Upcrate. So let's take, oh, everything's all in to get, oh no, it's not. Okay, so the first thing I like to do when stuff is like this is look at the surface that we've been given. Here is our featured artist, their featured artwork. This looks like acrylic paint pens to me. Chromatic Space Junk, Brianna Smith, a freelance artist from South Carolina. She has a website and an Instagram handle here down at the bottom as well, if you want to check out some of the rest of her work. So, we've got A5 Bristol board, and this is Scrawlrbox branded paper, smooth as a baby's bum, bright white A5 paper, which is perfect for markers. And I really like these scrawler pads because you get 10 sheets of paper in them. So normally when I'm doing these unboxing videos, I use 2 sheets of paper because I use one to swatch the supplies out on, and then I do an artwork on the other one, which still leaves 8 sheets to mess about with if you are very, emotionally attached to said paper, or you just like the way the supplies work with this particular paper. So I really like that we get that from Scrawlrbox. Let's see what else we've got in here. Here's our sticker to match our featured artist. So this is just a little mini version of that. And we also have our Scrawler zine, which tells us lots of bits and bobs. So I'll leave that to the end so as not to spoil the surprises. We have got Frisk acrylic markers. Well, isn't this interesting? I have never had Frisk acrylic markers. 12 water-based, highly pigmented and vibrant markers. Ideal for many surfaces. Oh, paper, card, glass, stone, metal. We can use acrylic markers for everything, we know. It tells you the colours on the back as well, and also shows you how to prime them, which is nice. I didn't know Frisk were based in Salford. This is quite interesting because I'm actually doing filming this video the day after the live stream in which we were up to our eyes in paint markers, and I still actually have paint on my arm and my watch strap as well. Yeah. Oh, interesting. So these are quite slimline. Let's take the offensive orange. Water-based markers, no colour names or anything on them. Just tells you how to use them. Give them a shake to mix the ink, and then we press down on the nib. So this is a very slimline bullet nib. I'm assuming they're replaceable. Yeah, they just pull out. So it looks like we can refill and also reuse. So we've got quite a range of colours here. We've got like a metallic silver and gold as well, which is quite nice. Okay, we'll test those out in just a wee minute. Let's see what else we've got going on here. A Derwent sketching pencil, a 2B. These are the pencils, it's a pencil, it's a pencil. If you would like this sticker, you can get it in the Stash Shop, which is here. I will be restocking the Stash Shop on so many levels when I come back from my travels as well, but the It's a Pencil sticker is available right now. Just while I'm on the subject of the shop, the First Hunt stickers, which is actually the most popular sticker in the Stash Shop ever, is back in stock. But also, Gloria the Mermoo is now available to purchase in sticker form too, and isn't she an absolute beaut? Look at her. So if you would like any of those things, you can head over to the website to visit our Stash Shop and pick yourself up a few wee goodies along the way. Okay, it's a 2B pencil, it's a round barrel pencil, what can I say? And another Stash Shop favourite here, also sell these. I do not sell a 09 in the Stash Shop. That's going to be a fairly chunky fine liner. I do have a 08. Also in the Stash Shop. These are great, love them, that's why I sell them. They're really reliable, nice pigmented ink, so I'll show you that in a minute too. And they're sweet as a fruit salad. There's absolutely zero point in me eating this because I won't be able to taste it because I'm at the stage where everything tastes like cardboard. Let's take a look at our scrollers. Ooh, let's take a look at our scrollers and see what else we can learn here. So here is our overview page. Raspberry and pineapple was the flavour of the fruits. Okay, a new product alert. So the markers are a new product. That is good to know. Here is our featured artist, Brianna Smith. So this is a little interview with her. She does a lot of animal art, clearly. I really like her cat here. This is nice. And here are our scroller tips. The scroller tips have vastly improved this last little while. I'm a lot more impressed with this section of the magazine these days. So they're giving you suggestions of different ways to use them: masking tape, stippling, let it drip, and layering them up. And here is your little swatch. Okay, they talk about filling large areas. Y'all don't want to be filling large areas with a pen this size. End of discussion. Find bigger markers. We'll not worry about that too much though, because we're working on A5. Love that this is here. Worth reading through if you're not familiar with paint markers. I've had this discussion. It seems to be an accidental theme just recently. I've used paint markers a lot. So you maybe not so much for me. So behind the artwork here, and this is the artist talking about the specific artwork that comes in the box, and also their own tips too, which is nice. Talking about thumbnailing, I very rarely thumbnail in the medium that I'm using. I usually just thumbnail in a graphite pencil, because that's just the way I do it, but this isn't a bad idea at all. Okay, this is the scroller gallery from the July scroller box. This is the scroller box that I did not get. No idea what was going on there. These are quite nice. So the prompt was quest. I like this one. Very good. Good job, guys. And this is the top 3. So the people that are featured in this section get an extra 30 scroller points, which you can redeem on the Scrawlrbox website. Again, very specific style, like it a lot, I think probably, I kind of like both of these equally. There's a section on the animal kingdom, that'll be because the Scrawlrbox prompt is claws and paws. If you fancy joining a Scrawlrbox live stream, they're giving you the date there. I sat in the last one. It was with Willie Watt, who is a fellow Scot, and I have a slight affinity with Willie because he likes to draw vernacular buildings, aka farm buildings, and I live in a farm. So that was really nice to be part of that. So you can check that out. It's good to set a reminder though, because it's so far on. I mean, this is the 26th of October this is set for, and we're still in September right now. So set yourself a reminder for that so you don't forget about it. Okay, Scrawler challenges claws and paws. Not that bothered about that just now because I'll deal with that when I get back. That is a very agreeable challenge for me though, because most of you know I like to draw animals. We have nothing about the supplies. Have I skipped a page? Okay, actually, no, there is no information at all on the supplies. So yeah, finding that really interesting. They're not even bothering to talk about the supplies now. I suppose that's why I still have a job. Okay, let's start with the pencil. The whole point of this, someone did actually ask me, like, why do you bother doing this when they tell you about it in the magazine? The reason I do this is because what they tell you in the magazine isn't always the truth, but also it doesn't account for how these supplies interact with each other. These might be the most fantastical pens in the world, but they could be terrible on this paper and better on another paper. And that's why we do these things. So at least if you don't know what to do, you know what not to do. So I can't remember who it was that asked me that, but that's fine. So the Derwent Sketch and Pencil 2B, soft enough to be able to do a bit of shading and use it as like your primary source of structure if you're going to do something like this, which I would be tempted to do because I like to work in pencil. Me and fine liners and stuff just don't get on too well because of my dodgy hand injury, but at least I can always erase pencil. That's going down really nice. You're only going to get so far with this on really smooth Bristol board paper. So if you're looking for a really detailed, like graphite shaded piece, this is not the paper for it. But for what we need it for on here, a 2B is fine because it's hard enough that we can still use it for construction lines and erase it. But as I say, if you do want to do a bit more with it, you have that option. So that's great. The Unipin, this is quite a thick fine liner for what we're looking for, so fairly thick line width there. Good for being able to fill areas in black without too much trouble. There you go, look, quick scribble, covered a big area. And because this is a high quality and consistent pen, it'll keep up with you, no problem. Once this dries, it is water resistant, so if you like to put your ink down first and then your paint pen, that'll be okay. Obviously, if you saturate it, it might disagree with you a wee bit. Again, that I have found tends to vary by paper, so you might want to try it out. So let's have a wee look at these. I think we need to swatch these colours out. Let's start with, right, I'll shake all these off camera. Ink's coming down fairly quickly as well because it's quite a wee barrel. So let's just start here where we might as well. So this is the black. It's actually a dark grey, it's not black. I don't know how well you can see that on the camera, but the uni pin next to this, I mean, this looks really grey. I notice on the camera this does look fairly dark, but it looks like a really dark, what I would call an elephant grey. That's not an actual colour, that's just what I call it. So we've got silver here, and this looks metallic. It is. Oh, that's shiny. Oh, I like this. Okay, yeah, nice. And we've got the gold. The paper seems to be okay with a wee bit of swirling about as well. I usually find that with paint markers you have to go easy on your paper because it starts to tear up pretty quickly. I think because this has got a slightly slimmer nib on it, then that's making things slightly easier. Is that actually metallic though, or is it just... No, it's just brown. Okay, that's just brown. Got overexcited. Not shiny. Let's grab the blue and the green. We get the blue. Ooh. Okay. Well, I have to say, so far, I kind of like the line widths. I think for something... Jock has a piece of brown paper and he keeps going back and attacking it. That's the crinkling you can hear in the background. I would like these for detail work. For doing a challenge like this, so where you need it for everything, your difficulty is going to be in covering those larger areas because this is quite a small nib. I think the featured artist has done particularly well. That's a pretty colour. That's the first colour I've really felt like, ooh, it's kind of that like corally pit. It looks really red on the camera and it's not. It's more like a vermilion. Okay, I really like the purple as well. Take back everything I've just said. Love the purple. Really nice, deep, rich colour. That is delightful. On to the orange and yellow. No offensive colours yet. We'll leave that for the orange. That's usually the orange's job. Let's see. Go, 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 go. Oh. No, it's not that offensive. I'm impressed. Lastly, we've got what looks like a very delicate pink here. You can see how much the paint split. That's why it's really important to shake your pens before you start. And we've got the white, which I'm going to test out over the graphite and the uni pen. Yeah, that's quite a nice pink colour too. And as I say, we'll try the white out up here just so that we can see it. It's having a good gnaw on it. Okay, there we go. Lovely. Yeah, I think we're going to be okay for layering up an opacity as well because the white's done quite well on top of that. I'm impressed. Okie dokie. Just to show you as well, on top of the fine liner as well, I'll show you that there. So we've tried marker on top of fine liner, and I want to try that the other way round. So I have my fine liner here. And I think the gold and silver both look pretty dry and they're quite shiny actually. If I just kind of like pop that round, you can see them glistening away. So let's see what happens if I put my fine liner through that or across that or around about it. And it seems to have done something. We can definitely still see the silver through it. I think that's more the metallic pigment though. We'll try with one of the flat colours as well, just to make sure. I'll give that a few seconds, but I feel as if I would be able to smudge that off there. I might be completely wrong. How's our green doing? Green's pretty dry as well, so let's try there. Okay, no problems at all. Yeah, fine. Yes, it's smudging a wee bit. It's not bad though. I think you would be okay if you let that dry for a spell. You would be able to deal with that, no problem. So quite an interesting range of colours, perhaps not traditional paws and claws colours, but certainly an interesting enough box, and it's actually nice to have new products rather than all the same old stuff rehashed. And so far I'm quite impressed with the Frisk markers. I say my only concern with things like this is that if we need to cover large areas, it's going to be a bit of a chore with these pens, but that's okay. You know, in a normal environment, we would obviously choose from a selection of items and not just stubbornly stick with one set of pens because it's one set of pens. So this is obviously taking that into consideration, and someone such as myself who has a plethora, an absolute plethora of paint pens, certainly doesn't have any problems. So we'll pop those back in there. So quite exciting to have new supplies. Right, how do we feel about the box? Ooh, I'm quite impressed. They've given us really reliable products here. These are all brands that we know. The paper is nice. The paper's going to be great for what we need it for. The only thing I'm a wee bit miffed about is they've just stopped with the product stuff. I was just double checking to make sure I absolutely haven't missed it, because it used to be on the back of this card. You used to flip that over and that had the supplies on it. I'm just going to start, like, if it's supplies I'm familiar with, I'm just going to start telling you everything I know about them. And if not, we'll look it up on the internet. We will not be stuck. Or you guys can chime in the comments with anything that I've missed. That's better. Let's keep it interactive, guys. Overall, quite a nice wee zine. I really, really think they've done well with the scroller tips this time round as well. And I think that the featured artist artwork is awesome as well. Like, that's really, really, really nice. Especially with the, especially with the supplies that we've got. So, that is it for the scroller box. Let's move on to Upcrate. See, because I'm not thinking about the scroller challenge, I get this weird feeling like I'm bunking off school. Such a strange thing. Okay, so our German counterparts. This is Upcrate number 49, so this is also the September box, obviously. Same idea, slightly different layout. If this is paint markers, I'm going to laugh really, really loud. Okay, number 49, what have you got for us? Oh dear lord. Hempa Mixed Media, 320 GSM. Oh, this is a glued block. Nice, it's all in German. Okay, yeah, no English. Right, I'm going to do my best here. Please don't shout at me. Right, this is something about a dose of paper. Hanf must be hemp. Yeah, okay, so like a dose of hemp paper. I think it might be a joke. It might be a joke, guys. It's won awards for something. Winner of the German Nachtal. Right, I would just be guessing. I don't know. Anyway, it's won awards for something, and it's the perfect mixed media paper. See, normal words. What do these ones say? Okay, and we can get 10% off if we like it by scanning the QR code. Okay, and there endeth your not German lesson for today. Anybody that is German speaking or of German origin, I am sorry. Oh, of course, I'm forgetting that there's no magazine with this now. Here is our stickers. This is our featured artist, Mark David. He's been featured somewhere else before. I think it might have been one of the Artful magazines. Very distinctive style, spotted it straight away. These are nice. This looks like acrylic marker or acrylic paint. I'm going to cry if it is. We've got to go through this rigmarole as well with the magazine. And here's our QR code for our magazine, which we'll get to in a wee minute. And here is the featured artist of the month spiel. No pun intended. That wasn't meant to be in German. Mark David Spengler. Yeah, I know who he is. Okay, so he's got his Instagram down there as well if you want to check him out. Before we go and scan our QR code and go to our magazine, let's take an actual look at the supplies. That's more fun. Oh look, acrylic paint. Oh look, acrylic paint. At least it's Liquitex. That's good acrylic paint. A Winsor & Newton fine liner. This looks like the Eco Pigment liner, but it's not. It's just a Winsor & Newton, a 0.8. Still on the plastic as well, nice. Black. What else is in here? Oh look, I keep saying no one's listening to me. I keep saying I've got acrylic paint coming out my ears. What an odd set of colours. This would lend itself really well to portraiture. Light pink and red oxide. Yeah, can make quite a lot of skinned ones with that. Oh, look at this for a brush. Okay, now I've got something to get excited about. Paintbrush. The Colibri Black Align Synthetic Special Edition, and this is a number 6 flat, and it is absolutely beautiful. Zoom in, my pretties. Oh, this is lovely. Look at that for a brush. Oh, yum, yum, yum. Can't wait. Really excited about that prospect. Very angular work, so I'm assuming the Upcrate battle is going to be something abstract or geometric or maybe somewhere in between the two. How exciting. This is a fairly standard combination of supplies. I'm assuming the acrylic paint is basics, so it'll just be standard acrylic paint, which is fine. I hate that they put these on these flat brushes because I always ruin it, but there we go. We've got paints, a paintbrush and a fine liner. That's it. Off we go. That's all you need. So I'm going to scan the QR code. I love how they put a password on this. It's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Okay, Upcrate number 49. Good in shape. 49, really? Is that what I said? Click at the topic to slide directly to them. Okay, we start with the supplies, which is the Liquitex. Let's zoom in again so y'all can read. Basics for all creatives, for all budgets, perfect for painting techniques including underpainting, sketching, medium viscosity paint, good. Light, fast, artist quality pigments, and it comes in 72 colours. And there's a link to show you all the other colours there too. That's pretty good. Liquitex paint is good quality paint, even if it is the basics range. I'm quite impressed with that. The Winsor & Newton fine liner on a 0.8. A fine liner that fits every style of sketching, smooth tapered nib and a long barrel. Yeah, I've noticed that about these Winsor & Newton fine liners. They do have, they're very long from where you would naturally hold a pen to the actual nib itself, which I find quite strange, but I suppose it's good if you're using rulers and things. It'll be quite handy for that. Perfect tool to start every creative project. It delivers incredible detail and its ink is water resistant, which is good. Again, if it's water resistant, I would put it down and let it dry, or use it after you've used your wet media and that's dry. And again, link to more products in the range. Okay, and we're talking a little bit about this paintbrush here as well. It's made in Germany. The synthetic fibre is suitable for both watercolour and acrylic. Elastic, dimensionally stable, extremely robust and can be cleaned very well. Made in Germany. Hemp paper. Have you ever tried tree-free paper? Since 2022, so last year. Artists and paper lovers use products made of 100% hemp to combine their passion with attitude. The German startup not only offers a new level of sustainability, but also provides a high-quality medium for several creative techniques from acrylic to oil colours. Interesting. A mini drawing book comprising of A5 size with 5 sheets to let your creativity flow. I'm really interested to try this paper because I've never tried hemp paper before. Then we've got the little bit about the artist, Mark David. A little chat with him, which is always nice. Some of his featured artwork, which it shows in his stickers too, which I think is very lovely. And the video on how he made his featured artwork as well. Again, if we just take a wee look at this, because it's quite interesting. When I first saw this artist, the first thing I said was I could see his work hanging in like a modern apartment in the city, that kind of thing. Like that's how I would picture it, definitely. And here is art out of the box with Katrin. Look, it's so pretty. I like that. So what Katrin's done is she's block coloured and then she's used the fine liner for detail. I really like that idea as well. And you can see her process here step by step, and her blocking in all the colours just with the paintbrush. And then you can see that it's the fine liner that actually brings it to life. Lovely. That's super cool. We have a Sailor of the Month, Pana, a fantasy and animal artist living in Dublin, originally from Hungary. Now that's an interesting travels. So pretty. Oh, I like the fox. I like the fox a lot. That's really cool. Colour Circle with La Petite Rose, and this is Emily, my favourite. This month is my latest contribution to UpCrate magazine. You can find me on Instagram if you'd like to continue following my creative adventures. I think that's meant to say last contribution. And if it is, I'm going to be really, really upset. Oh, look. Look. This is lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Ooh, look at her artwork too. Nice. And here's some entries from my place, which was UpCrate 48. Super cool. I like this one. And the UpCrate battle for UpCrate 49 is Stacking Plan. Stacking Plan? How many forms do you know? Which compositions make sense to you? Play with the white space on your hempa paper and fill it with colour and shapes. It can be abstract, called it. It can be object. It can be a stack. In principle, it can be whatever you want it to be. What's the point of having a prompt then? Oh, this drives me crazy. Are there shades? Are there outlines? You decide how to stack your shapes or make them look to each other. I think stack is maybe a translation issue. Maybe they mean like layers. Stacking implies putting boxes on top of each other. Maybe that is what they're implying. I absolutely hate these prompts because they're ambiguous. The whole point of a prompt is to unleash some kind of creativity or unlock something in you or push you or send you in a direction. Now that direction might not be the same direction for everyone, but it has to be a direction. That is not a direction. I get so frustrated with these. It's like, please sit down for 5 minutes and take a think about what you're doing as a prompt. With the risk of going off on a full scale rant here, as the more and more we go along with these UpCrate boxes, the more and more rushed and the less time I feel is being spent on them. I'm glad to see that they've put the UpCrate battle to the bottom, because last time I looked at it, it was in the middle, so it kind of ruined it. Everything is so slapdash though, and they fix one thing and then they just like change something else. I'm glad to see there was far fewer spelling and grammatical errors in the bottle post as well. I don't even want to call it a bottle post anymore because it's not. It's just text on a web page. But yeah, okay, whatever. Like, I'll let it slide, ran over. But yeah, and I just feel these boxes are so careless now. For me in the UK, I'm paying like €23 for this. I'm paying over 20 quid for a box. Is it worth my while? The honest answer is I don't know. Yeah, this is okay. This is gummed at both sides, so you can take a knife down there and peel it off. I just want to test out some of these colours, so I'm going to grab some water. The more we go along with these boxes, and the more you guys comment underneath the videos, the more and more, the more and more people are telling me they're looking towards value for money, and subscription boxes are no longer providing that, especially for people who have been subscribed to a box for a long time. And I honestly think, like, subscription boxes have peaked, and there will always be a place for them in the art market, and it is for people who are new to art or are looking for some sort of inspiration rather than the products themselves. That's the way I feel about it. There's people, and if I wasn't doing YouTube videos, I would include myself in this, but there are people who've maybe been subscribed to these boxes for a couple of years, and you do kind of get to a saturation point, and you get sometimes as well, if you have, if you've got a job and a family or, responsibilities, you get to the point where some of these boxes fall by the wayside because you're getting one every month. And you maybe don't have time to do a scroller challenge every month, and then the supplies kind of sit there and you think, oh well, I've already got acrylic paint, and then you end up not doing it. And effectively at that stage you're throwing away £20 a month. So, just saying. I know that's not everyone's situation and viewpoint, but it's becoming more and more common because you all keep telling me about it. Okay, so this paint is water-based, so we are able to dilute it out a little bit. And I'm getting nice, thick, bright colour though. And that is light pink. I might just sploosh this onto the paper just for funsies. Ooh, the paper feels quite nice, and because it's really, really thick as well, and obviously we're gummed on both sides, it feels quite rigid and solid. This brush is lovely. I really like this paintbrush. Look at that purple. That's a lovely colour. What's this called? Brilliant purple. Yes, it is brilliant. I reckon we can layer that up pretty well as well. Let's try and mix this and see what happens as well. Okay, so it mixes fairly well as well. It kind of behaves like I would expect acrylic paint to behave when you're trying to mix it, so that's good. Acrylic paint behaves like acrylic paint, hooray! I'll try to use a little bit less, that was a bit extreme. This blue's lovely as well, it's almost like an electric blue. Cerulean blue hue, or if you're me, cerulean. I don't know why I have that compulsion to pronounce it like that, but... And if we draw it out quite dry, we get the texture of the paper through, which could be really handy depending on what we're doing, because we're stacking things apparently. So we've got room for expression on the paper here as well, which is quite nice. And if you're quite light-handed, you can push those colours into each other without them mixing together, so that can give you some quite interesting textures as well. And I actually really like this combination of the purple and the blue. We've got blue-grey now as well. My water's gone a really pretty colour too, look. I love it when that happens. This has actually got a little bit of body to it. I don't know if you noticed that there. When I pulled the tube away, the end of the paint has flicked up and it's actually sitting up and it's holding a peak right now. I wonder if I can do this without it flopping over. I turn it over. Can you see that? Can you see that? Yeah, so I wouldn't say it's a heavy body, but it can definitely hold its shape. I just want to kind of leave that there like that. That's funny. Like I can pull it round the sides and it's still holding a peak. That's hilarious. That's a really nice colour too. I can see a Gem Moody Sky coming on with that one. What can I stack on top of Sky? And here is this red oxide colour. I feel like, again, not that I do human portraiture very often, but with having this light pink and this red oxide, along with the blue as well, like you can get so many skin tones out of that. Like that would be amazing. And that's a really rich colour, look at that. Oh, see what happens when I mix these together. So you can get some really muted tones there as well, look. That's just a tiny little bit of that grey. And it's enough to not change the colour, but just really like tone it down a little bit. It's so nice to have these types of colours in these boxes. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm the first person to say I love like bright colours and, you know, playing about with them because they're really pretty. But when it comes to like applying it to things that I actually want to draw, I'm far more inclined to use this kind of thing than I am to use this kind of thing. For the benefit of the challenges though, I do tend to veer towards the sort of cheery bright colours, but that's just because, well, because why not basically. This is nice paint. Okay, I do have Liquitex paint. I don't have any of the basics. This is the first set of these I have had. I'm quite impressed with them. And they say if you do want to do, not necessarily in pastel, but if you want to have a bit of texture to your artwork, you're not going to be working against these to try and get it clearly. Colour selection's nice too. Let's just dodge about. Here is our fine liner. Feels a bit scratchy on this paper, honestly. You can see it looks a bit scratchy. If we take our time though, it's okay, but it feels horrible under your hand because this paper has got it doesn't feel overly knobbly bobbly, but the minute you put your pen down on it, you can feel it's knobbly bobbly. So again, I don't think this was maybe the best choice. And me in particular, who struggles with fine liners, I think I would find it hard to get nice smooth lines that were consistent round my artwork, so I don't really know personally how I feel about that. This brush is fantastic though. I really, really like the brush. Really like the brush. So overall, yeah, okay. I've kind of fallen out of love with the Upcrates a little bit this last little while, but the contents of this box are actually quite good. Yeah, I'm into the paints. The paints are pretty good, and also like the paintbrush. Fine liner, meh, not bothered. So, and the paper is going to be a new exploration and a new adventure for me, so I can't really make up my mind about that. But so far, I think this paper and acrylic paint is going to work pretty well. So overall, you know, like all is not lost kind of thing. My preference out of the two boxes based on the entire boxes, so content, supplies and prompt, I think my favourite's going to have to be the Scrawler box this time round. And I very rarely pit these off against each other because that's not what this is about. But just because we've done this unboxing side by side, I just feel that there's more love goes into the Scrawler box, honestly, than the Upcrate. I feel like Upcrate rush their boxes and it shows through. Whereas I feel even if it's a naff Scrawler box, because you're always going to get a naff box every now and then or one that you don't like, even when that happens, 9 times out of 10 with Scrawler box, it's still a well put together box and you can see that there has been love and thought put into it. Whereas I feel with Upcrate a lot of the time it's really slapdash and no one gives a shit. Oh god, I better beep that out. That is just my personal feelings, and I know that's quite strong viewpoints this time. I try and stay neutral as much as I can when I'm unboxing these. I think having the two side by side though shows us a huge disparity despite the similarity in price. And obviously if you have a budget for one box and you're in the UK, you're going to pick the Scrawler box hand down because it's a better box this time. I don't know, I would love to hear how you all are kind of like, how your feelings are going along this journey through these boxes now. I just feel there's been a massive shift and it's had to come because of the economy, because of the UK leaving the EU. There was going to be changes, it wasn't going to stay the same forever, and team that with some of us who have been unboxing boxes like this or subscribed and paying for boxes like this for 3, 4, 5 years. You know, that there has to be a shift sometime or else everything gets boring and things have to move on. And I'm not sure that necessarily everybody's moved on in the right way, so please go down into the comments. Would love to hear your thoughts, and if you have any thoughts on the comparison between the two boxes as well. I always find it really interesting, especially if the opinions are polarized to my own. So that is it for today, guys. What an interesting video. I've had great fun with this, and this is a lovely way for me to finish filming before I go off on my travels and hopefully get my voice back properly. So I just want to thank you very much for watching. Thanks for coming and hanging out. And yeah, there will be a video on Thursday. It's a pre-recorded video, but it's just following on back in our Hannah Carlson colouring book. We're actually finally going to colour some unicorns. Can't wait for that. I shall see you all on Thursday for that as normal. So have a great day, everyone. Bye bye for now.